Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central. So we are in the period of seeing some drastic changes on the PTR. And we are seeing a lot of noise thrown around, and it tends to sound something like this.
Oh jeez, Sombra buffed again?
Roadhog is just so bad right now. He reminds me of my ex-husband.
You don't use mind? No brain? Man, no fucking brain?
Yo, Kaplan. So, dude, where the fuck the Reaper buffs at, yo?
At least ask me out first before you f me in the ass, Blizzard.
Okay, stop. What I'm trying to say is to stop, breathe, and to just wait a little bit.
Whilst we put out videos going over the PTR changes and how it may affect those heroes involved and other heroes as well in the game, we try to not pick a side when doing this. As of a result, we haven't really done things such as deem the new Roadhog hook garbage nor OP. This, along with other PTR related topics, are basically the most popular topics in the Overwatch community right now, and it seems to have split a lot of people's opinion. There is a big issue, however, with how people have given feedback as a whole, and Jeff Kaplan kind of touches on the community's sometimes emotional responses to changes on the Battle.net forums. The original post came from Koringal here, basically asking if people were really struggling on D.Va. Lots of fuss was made about how the changes seemed unfair to D.Va, and this thread was to ask if it really was that bad. Jeff Kaplan responded 5 pages into the thread saying that the sky wasn't falling. Only 0.26% of the whole player base had actually tried out the changes and played for roughly 26 minutes on average. So this is basically him trying to encourage more people to play on the PTR and leave extensive but mainly constructive feedback on the forums.
We, like Jeff, would recommend each and every PC player to jump on the PTR and play a few games on it, but this video was inspired from what followed. Another user went on to ask if this early feedback really mattered, since it seemed like people hadn't played the PTR enough. They basically asked if Jeff and the dev team weren't going to listen to their initial reaction from the community. Jeff responded with, "Of course not, we're huge believers in constructive feedback." Constructive feedback is stuff like, I played D.Va for a few hours on the PTR and had some concerns about her survivability. I tried Roadhog on the PTR and had trouble landing hooks because of small objects blocking line of sight. Or I haven't tried these changes, but reading about them makes me wonder if D.Va is going to be able to tank effectively with a change to her health pool. He then went on to give some examples of not very constructive feedback, such as, why don't you just remove D.Va from the game already because she's trash now, or Roadhog will never be picked again, and then proceeded to say that these kind of comments aren't really valuable to them in any way and cause more naive members of the community to get worked up. And I feel that this latter part has a lot to do with us as content creators and outstanding people in the Overwatch community, or just basically that anybody gets heard, somebody gets retweeted a lot, top of the Overwatch subreddit, stuff like that. It can be really easy to throw generalized and sensationalized comments out there, and it really is a case of for those that shout louder seem to be right. Whilst people may have valid points on whether, for example, Roadhog's hook is good or bad, it's incredibly important that players jump onto the PTR themselves and formulate their own opinion on the situation.
The other problem here has to do with gut instincts and how just playing something on the PTR just once doesn't give you a total idea of how things may work out in the live game. A great example is Sombra from BlizzCon. People were leaving Anaheim saying that Sombra was going to be overpowered and change the whole game. Whilst this still may happen, none expected that her pick rate would be this low even 2 months after the event. Another example here is the original tier-based competitive seasons. The very early competitive season had a controlled map decider for a tied match. To begin with, nobody really complained, but as they got used to the system, they realized it just wasn't that good at all, and it actually had a lot more problems than people pointed out at first. What we're saying is, within a few weeks of these new changes going live, the community as a whole will have decided whether these changes were too much or not. It takes a bit of time to break this stuff down and make an educated decision on whether these changes are good for the game or not. In the thread, Jeff also responded to a great example of constructive criticism. That comment led as followed. Just put in about 45 minutes to 1 hour, and D.Va's mecha feels too weak in my opinion. As a few said, part of what made her strong was that Ana's healing grenade was too powerful. Something that might be worth testing is 300 HP and 300 armor. Jeff Kaplan responded and said, "This is a great example of constructive feedback. Thank you." Blizzard really have their ears close to the ground when it comes to listening to the community's response on changes, so stomping around and making a fuss already makes it difficult for them to take the feedback on board, and might eventually even force them to take a step back and not rely on community responses as much, simply because they're too mixed and too extreme sometimes.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. This is what I want to do for the comment section, a bit of an experiment. Imagine that Jeff Kaplan and the Overwatch dev team are going to read the comments below, so leave some of your constructive feedback from playing on the PTR, or if you're like a console player and you can, just let us know what you think of the patch notes, what you're worried about, what you're excited about, stuff like that. Do let us know and just try and be as constructive as you possibly can. But that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. We'll see you then.